Straight ahead on 12 News, as more boomers become seniors, it's changing the dynamic on housing.
We wanted to get away from a 4-level split.
Then putting wind in your sails.
And when you put sails on a 1,800-pound boat, these things will really go.
As sailors compete for a national championship. But first, a break in the rain, but it's going to take a long time to dry out. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this Friday. It has been a drier day, but flooding concerns remain an issue throughout the Twin Cities.
Thursday's downpour brought anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of rain, and as Delane Cleveland reports, cities are still dealing with the aftermath.
You know, living here is kind of cool. We get a lot of wildlife through here.
Minneapolis Pond sits in the heart of a Golden Valley neighborhood.
Yeah.
But thanks to this week's heavy rains,
You know, the ducks get a little closer.
the pond now sits in the middle of Scott Avenue.
If it's true that lakefront, beachfront property is valuable, I'm set.
The pond has not only spread into the street, it also takes up a good chunk of Jeffrey Lewis's front yard.
If you look at that tree there, the water was up to, say, 2 feet short of the tree.
And according to people who live in the neighborhood,
Actually, this is the 5th time this year.
this isn't exactly a rare occurrence.
Oh, just about every year. Once a spring, yep, in this area.
Golden Valley city officials say they're aware of the issue.
The rain amounts and the frequency seem to be coming often enough that our water tables aren't going down before we're getting more rain, and that is creating a concern for Golden Valley, the city, and the Public Works Division, because it does create a lot of extra work and a lot of headaches for our residents.
The city made free sandbags available for people living near streams and ponds to help them prevent the encroachment of water. But Jeffrey didn't get that memo.
I always work out of my house. And I left, picked up my kid, come back home. And he said, Dad, there's water in the basement.
Yet, despite the inconvenience of a wet basement and a flooded street, in his mind, things could always be worse.
It's only stuff. It's wet. It's not that bad a deal.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
On Medicine Lake, the no-wake rule is in effect for boaters for at least 3 days. The rain also overloaded sewer lines so much, the Met Council says there was a small sewage spill into Bassett Creek as it leaves the lake.
High water in Brooklyn Center will force a change in a weekend race. Water completely covers some parts of the trail around Palmer Lake. So organizers of a 5K fun run, which includes Brooklyn Center Police, have been coming up with an alternate route on the Palmer Lake Trail.
There's about 100 feet that unfortunately is underwater right now. We are going to still use the trail. It's just a matter of running to the water and probably turning around and coming back instead of using the entire trail.
More than 150 people are expected to be a part of the Special Olympics fundraiser, which begins at West Palmer Park on Saturday morning.
A Robbinsdale man is one of 7 people facing federal charges for bank fraud. Tremaine Smith of Robbinsdale and 6 other Minnesotans are charged in connection to an identity theft case. Authorities say the crime ring stole consumers' banking information, passed counterfeit checks, and collected fraudulent tax refunds. The U.S. Attorney General's office says they stole more than $1 million over several years. The operation targeted 15 financial institutions across Minnesota, as well as several gas stations and drugstores. Golden Valley swears in 2 new police officers. Corey Proctor and Christopher White are filling vacancies that will bring the force back to its authorized strength of 30 officers. City officials say more than 100 people applied for those positions. There will be another officer hired later this year as Golden Valley adds an officer who will be dedicated to traffic.
Minnesota Congressman Keith Ellison says he is opposed to President Obama's plan to continue military operations in Iraq. Ellison and other members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus introduced an amendment asking that no funds in the 2015 defense budget go towards combat in Iraq. In a statement, Ellison said airstrikes and sending combat troops to Iraq is not the way forward. The amendment failed to garner enough support, though, in Congress today. The baby boomer population is growing larger by the minute.
You can see the growth right here in the northwest suburbs. In 2000, the population over the age of 50 in Brooklyn Park was around 18%. In 2010, that number grew to over 25%. As Sonia Goins reports, the surge is causing changes in the housing market.
Got really bad letters. Wayne Smith and his wife Christina Patyandi are in their late 60s. The Brooklyn Park couple is part of a growing trend.
We'd been in the other house 28 years.
The baby boomers gave up their 4-level home for a 1-level townhome.
We wanted to get away from a 4-level split, which entailed walking up and down stairs all day long.
They even modified their home to make it easier to get around.
Because we're getting older, our friends are getting older, we put in an elevated toilet, which is more comfortable for most people.
But with 1-level living getting harder to find, these two are lucky.
To me, there's just not enough 1-levels being built.
Real estate expert Mitch Sparger says 1-level living space is being snatched up by baby boomers.
And so as soon as something pops up, a little cute townhome, a little 1-level, a slab on grade, they're sold.
Look what happened when he tried to find a 1-level home in Maple Grove.
There's actually 122 homes for sale in that area.
When he narrows it down to a home with 1 level, it's slim pickings.
That it took them from 122 down to 9. There's already a couple of them that are already sold contingent.
And there's another challenge for some seniors trying to buy a home.
If you're 70 years old and you want to take out a loan on a home, you're not necessarily going to get one because you don't have an income, you don't have certain things, so you really need to sell your home in order to buy a home.
Now, those challenges have many seniors staying put. A new report by Fannie Mae shows that even the oldest baby boomers are deciding to remain in their single-family homes.
My wife died here, and I'd like to die here.
Ralph Stedman has lived in his New Hope home for more than 50 years.
Okay, did she put your cards in there yet?
He's really comfortable and plans on staying in his home rather than going to an assisted living facility.
You seem to lose your independence, you know? I can go out, go around the yard and that stuff.
These boomers say they plan on growing old gracefully in a home that's acceptable to their lifestyles.
The memories stay in your heart, and it's time to think about yourself and what's the best for the best quality of life.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Many Northwest cities are increasing the amount of senior housing to accommodate the growing baby boomer population. Coming up, sailors are skimming across the water in search of a championship.
And later in sports, some talented prep baseball players get ready for a weekend of all-star play.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
This summer, but what about building your own? A first-of-its-kind program for Robbinsdale Highview students teaches them how to build a 17-foot canoe in 3 weeks. But that's only part of the class. 40 students spent part of the project in the classroom learning the math that's required to build a boat.
That was kind of the goal, was to get some hands-on measuring, applied math. There's a little applied geometry and where you put the seats and how many thwarts and how many ribs, and there's been quite a bit.
More than you think goes into building a canoe. Students will finish the canoes by next week, and the plan is to test them out on Medicine Lake next Friday. An entirely different kind of boat is sailing Lake Minnetonka this weekend. 20
sailboats from the upper Midwest are racing in the Osseo National Championship Regatta. On the shores of Lake Minnetonka, Captain Pat Hughes and his crew ready their sailboat Melvin for a day of racing.
It's intense while you're out there, which is what I love about it. You know, you spend your whole life trying to find ways where you still get butterflies. I get them.
Those butterflies come from steering this 38-foot-long Osseo, a type of sailboat invented in Minnesota in 1895.
It's got a 38-foot mast that's made out of carbon. And when you put sails on a 1,800-pound boat, these things will really go.
It has a great storied history. Some of the best sailors in the world or in the country have raced in these boats, Olympic medalists. world champions.
Harry Allen of Deep Haven captains another A-Scow boat that will compete against Pat Hughes and his crew. But in this sailing community, it's one big family.
You know, it's just a lot of fun. As I say, I'm just happy to be able to still be doing it.
Because all A-Scow boats are made from the same mold with the same equipment, the competition comes down to skill and good luck.
It's called One Design Racing, so nobody has a better mousetrap. It's about the people that are on the crew.
As 20 boats try to round the mark, chasing the finish line, it's adrenaline and skill helping fuel this competition.
We have high hopes.
The boats can reach speeds of around 25 miles per hour, and we have more information about this weekend's regatta on our website. It's 12.tv. Coming up, a trip down the yellow brick road.
And in sports, some of the top highlights from the prep season that just finished. We'll be right back. Well, it's not the All-Star Weekend, but it is an All-Star Weekend.
Yes,
One
it
you can
is.
afford,
That's
right?
Very inexpensive and some good baseball, too, for its level. Some of the state's top baseball players from the class of 2014 get together this weekend for the Play Ball Minnesota Tournament, formerly the Lions All-Star Series. Jay Wilcox caught up with All-Stars from the Northwest suburbs.
They've all had some great moments on the baseball field. Getting picked for this series is another memorable achievement.
Well, it was an honor because I know a lot of the kids here are great baseball players, and just to be a part of this is really amazing, and I'm really excited.
We have a great group of guys here. I'm really excited to see what everybody can do and what they look like.
It was really exciting. When my coach called me and gave me the news, I was really excited about it, and that'd be a great opportunity to come out, meet some new guys, and play some baseball.
Champlain Park pitcher Brandon Rushmeyer, Wayzata outfielder infielder Christian Linhart, Benilde shortstop Keaton Studsrud, and Totino Grace pitcher Reggie Meyer will suit up for the Metro West. Wayzata's Bobby DeWitt is one of the team's coaches. They want to do well, of course, but it's not a win-at-all-costs mentality this weekend.
Winning's not all. It's not all about it. It's just more of having fun and playing with a great group of guys and playing with great players from all around.
I think it's more about just having fun, meet new guys, great competition, and yeah, winning's a big part, but just come out, have fun, and enjoy the experience.
Heavy rain pushed workouts indoors to the pitch-to-pitch facility Thursday, but it didn't faze these guys. Many will play college baseball, while some will play other sports or concentrate on academics. It is a good last chance to represent their high schools.
Yeah, it's really a pride thing representing Wayzata and the Trojans one more time.
With the Metro West All-Stars, Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
Metro West plays Friday evening at 6 o'clock, Saturday afternoon at 12:30, and Saturday night at 6. The games have been moved to Chanhassen High School this year. The indoor facility pitch-to-pitch, where the All-Stars trained, is run by former Maple Grove and Gophers pitcher C.J. Woodrow. He said he's looking to expand into the Maple Grove-Rogers area. Earlier this week, the spring sports season came to a close as champions were crowned in baseball and lacrosse. The 2013-2014 school year brought some great moments in high school sports in the Northwest suburbs. Jason Malillo compiled some of the best.
They have to feel like this one. You see both the
Crimson football. Olsen is going to go in for the touchdown.
Shut them and score! Totino Grace wins 5-4 in overtime.
Push it up court here, and McMorris, until she could see that.
Gets it on the baseline, out to Kane for three, and he rattles it home.
Southern hits it a long way to center, and it is gone. Home run.
That piece could have been about 4 minutes. There was so much to pick from.
Still thinking about that soccer shot.
Oh, that was a great one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Coming up, a familiar cast of characters ease on down the road.
Stages Theater is getting ready for The Wiz. We'll be right back.
And finally, you already know the names. Dorothy, Toto, the Tin Man. They are coming alive in a Stages Theater production with a new twist.
The Wiz is a Broadway musical based on the Wizard of Oz story, and 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant has this story in this week's Weekend Showcase.
We at Stages have been wanting to do a production of The Wiz for a while.
Young actors at Stages Theater in Hopkins prepare for an upcoming show.
The songs are great, the dances are great, the acting's great.
Based on the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical, The Wiz is the story of Dorothy's tornado-driven adventure in the land of Oz.
It is all of the things that you love about the original Dorothy story, but it's in a more urban and modern setting.
Audiences can expect some new takes on familiar elements of the story.
I think the tornado is it's beautifully done in this, in that it's a ballet.
But you will also recognize some memorable characters, like the Wicked Witch of the West, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion.
It's a very fun journey that they all go through, and a lot of obstacles in the way, but it's overall a fun journey for all of them.
As she meets each of the characters, I think they each tell about their tale, why they're there, what they need.
They all
ease on down the road.
Ease on down the road to the toe-tapping music of this modern classic and learn an important lesson.
In the end, she really learns about how important her family is to her and how she wants to, be back home so badly.
The show has lots to offer to audiences of all kinds.
Movement and music and excitement. So I think it's great for families and for school groups or schools out day summer groups. Really a fun show.
For Weekend Showcase, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
And the curtain goes up next Friday, June 27th, and runs through August 3rd at Stages Theater in Hopkins. Tickets $15 for adults, $12 for kids and seniors. And if you've never been over there, you should take a kid. They really get a kick out of it. Yeah. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here Monday. Have a great weekend.